Hey yo, what's up? Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Hope you all are having a great week. I myself having a good week and I'm on my vacation, so I'm here giving you a review of Love Island. Yes, y'all, I finished it. We're gonna talk about episode 27 all the way to finale and get into it. Hope you all are having a great day and whatnot. I know, whatever. The finale was this past Sunday. We're going to give a conversation about it. Let's talk about it. Hold up. Shine bright like a diamond. You're beautiful like diamond in the sky. Yes, I got the glasses on today. And I'm taking it off, so it's gonna be good. It's studious right now, unless it's too much for y'all. But what's up? What's up? How y'all doing? How y'all enjoying Love Island? All y'all excited? Did y'all did y'all get your person who won? Did they win, and did y'all vote for that person for the winners? All right, let's get into it because I ain't gonna keep y'all too long. And while I'm talking, y'all just chat. Tell me how y'all feel. Thumbs up the video, like the video. Also subscribe if you're new. I'm trying to get 10 more subscribers, everything, and try to work on building up the subscriber count. All right, let's get Love Island. So the finale was this past Sunday, and I will talk about Beyond the Villa. I gotta watch that, and we will have a discussion on that and whatnot. Now, Real House of Atlanta. What I'm gonna do, since I didn't give you a video up after the finale ended, I go wait till after the third part of the reunion finish. Go watch the reunion, and we're gonna talk about one last time of Real House of Atlanta. So, y'all ready for that? Let's get to that going. So, the reunion is happening right now. Wait till all three parts. We watch the three parts. Then we can discuss anything about Real House of Atlanta and get one little final review. But right now we're gonna talk about Love Island. Let's get into it. I'm not to be honest, I wasn't rooting for no one, but I'm okay with the winners. I'm okay with the winners. I'm just hopefully that they last because it just ended, so it's still like weeks, like within a week at the finish thing ended of their dating. Hope they last, and also other people who wasn't a finale or whatever last a little bit and give it a try. Because I not have no hopes for nobody. I don't really have no hopes for anyone in this cast. This season was trashy to me, and I just don't really care for anyone. And we're gonna discuss how I feel about the people, eliminations, and stuff like that. But it was not all that for me. It wasn't given. It was too much. And y'all saw my reviews. And thank you all the people who gave me a lot of reviews on my Love Island series, because this is my last season. I reviewed it, but I reviewed it after the season ended. So this time I review it while the season's going, and the views is great. So appreciate y'all. Love y'all for that. And it went why. Are y'all here? Are y'all for the Nicolandrians? Are you a fan? How you feel about Huda and Chris breaking up? At the finale, to say the least. At the finale, I said, really? Y'all could just wait to fake it to the funk and then break up after the freaking. Y'all get back in the villa and just say we just had differences and we cannot handle, but whatever. All right, so we start back for episode 27. Ace is drained. He's still confused by Shelly because at this time she still want to explore. He doesn't understand her logic of keeping things open and whatnot. He is drained. So Taylor didn't like, because this is after Stay on Your Business. This is that Stay on Your Business episode. So I'll start from that. So, he's confused about her questioning and her answers, that he doesn't understand why she can't close it off or whatnot. Well, I say, I don't know why you wait for her. You could at least do it yourself. But Taylor don't like that. Laundry cursed him out. Yeah, she just cursed him out, called him a B. I stand by him. He couldn't give you show me. And I say, you know what? At some point, you already knew at Lola Lines was dealing with Taylor that he wasn't giving you what you wanted. But you and him was coasting along. Especially the man, like, I give a fuck. He was drinking her alone. That's why I said for like Taylor, like, listen, if you wasn't attracted to the girl and whatnot, you may have liked the girl, but the fact that if he wasn't attracted to everything, you shouldn't have had the strongest girl along for all this time and whatnot. But also at the same time, Laundry, his action was not matching with his words, and you just was blinded. So I feel like they both had a hand into not reading the signs, but I blame him so much for not speaking up and whatnot. But once he picked Clark, that was his thing. That was his answer. Right there. But he should have continued to say, oh, he can still open for both of y'all, one for y'all, but he still was showing more towards Clark. All right. So Laundry always felt like it was F from the beginning. But I said, if you felt that way, you knew that. So why would you drag this on? You should have nipped in the butt a long time ago. So that's why I feel like y'all both was coasting. But she told Clark to open your eyes, open up, because it kind of blinded me. And Clark said, yeah, I hear you. But I said, that's not experience, though. That's not Clark's experience. Maybe she will experience that in the outside world because, they became exclusive. So, but we'll see how that goes. They appreciate Maya for sticking up for herself. She stood there. She took the heat from 3 guys. Tell about how she is sensitive, how she is. Like I said, yes, Maya has sometimes to listen to people and not be overly assertive and let them chase her a little bit and everything. Because if you don't make them work, they're not gonna be not gonna be interested in it like that. So I feel like she needs to step back and control emotions a little bit. Not saying she has to stop crying and everything because people they're all sensitive people out there. But I just feel like she just needs to take a step back, let them lead things, not be too anxious, and let the men lead. How y'all feel about Brian? Like, I understand Brian stuck up for her, and he may like her verbally and like physically attracted to her, but I don't know. His body language just seems sometimes like he's this distance. Maybe that's how he is, but we'll see if it lasts long in the outside world. But so model Zach, he was trying to have a conversation with Amaya, and he couldn't get anywhere because he couldn't get any word in. She said he's moving weird because he was moving weird because at the end of the day he was saying how he didn't want to do it and he understand why it felt that way. He apologized for going on strong to her and everything, but he's saying he didn't want to kiss her and everything. But I said you didn't have to kiss her though. She didn't put no pistol in your head to tell you you got to kiss her or something like that. You have free will just like everybody else. You could have said no, I'm not into it. But yet at the same time, you say in the real world you wouldn't have been doing all of that. And you would take a step back, you'd be, oh, whoa. But I said, really? Because that same breath, you trying to kiss Alondria, right? You were trying to kiss her numerous of times. So don't say in the back of the real world, you would have been like, oh, but then you were willing to kiss other people. Just say you didn't like Alamaya. And then you tell her you like all this, you like her fight inside, you like her all this like that, but then turn around and say you don't like it. Like, boy, you were just trying to get along and get along. You trying to jump in the freaking bandwagon because you know she was getting heat for everybody else, so you wanted to put yourself into it, and you shouldn't have done that. You should have spoke up like you spoke up, and that's that. Pepe say it's hard for him to move forward. Okay. Coulda was sitting there moping. You know what people do is that when everybody talking in a group and you just standing aside, moping around, you hoping that someone to give you attention. That's a tactic to get somebody to give you attention so they can focus on you and say what's going on, what happened, what's wrong. Because she was like, you had to sit down there. You could have been somewhere else pouting along, but you want to sit down there and pout while they're having a whole little conversation. So she felt like they stabbed her in the back. She felt like she couldn't. She was there on her own. Nobody had her back. They stabbed her. And she tried to look like the bad guy. So Landry and Shelly was talking, and they were talking about being finished closed door. I think she was talking about the Ace wanting to be closed door, and she looking at Ace sideways because she didn't understand why he came at her like that, and so she just thinking about it. But I said, hey, she just want to know what she did wrong. Did I do something wrong? Because why not? So Taylor told Landria, and they got a different feeling on whatever. She acted shocked and whatnot, but Clark gave him a different feeling. You didn't get the, I didn't get the feeling from you like I gave for Clark. So that's what basically what it was. So whatever. So Landria and Huda talked, and Landria apologized, but I would say at the same time I didn't like that Landria did that. Put out her business out like that to front of people and whatnot. Because at the end of the day, if it was a secret, it was a secret. If Huda wanted to tell her, let Huda tell it herself. You didn't have to go out there and say it and tell people about that. So it's like normal other time. She said, "No, understand. In other circumstances, she would have kept a secret." But she felt like if you were supposed to be a girl's girl, I said, listen, y'all with this girls code, bros code, exploring, love bombing, all this overused terms y'all was using this in this season. Y'all need to let it go. Hopefully they don't bring that back next season because I'm gonna be so done. But she said no one had her back. Everyone was yelling at her. I said, I don't know if people was yelling at you, but I know people was like getting their things off, but I don't think people was yelling. But they made up. She said she felt like she was not wrong for kissing Chris. And she wasn't. She wasn't wrong for kissing Chris. At the end of the day, it's her connection. She's kissed him easy. It wasn't nobody's business. If she wanted to tell Shelly, it was her to tell Shelly. She said, value friendship. They wish they had talked about this and whatnot. So they hug it out and they good. So Alondria Huda is good. So Milo Zachariah talk and he let her speak. He said, you waited till they attacked her for you to speak up. He should have her back. He said the first night they kissed, he didn't want to, but in the real world, he was at nah. He should understand his boundaries. And I said, boy, you didn't have none of that. So that's what she would say. You moving weird, bro. You was moving weird and you moving funny. Because I thought I was saying, what's all these boundaries and stuff that you had when it came to laundry? You didn't have none of that stuff like that. And if you didn't want to do so, you couldn't have to do so. She didn't force you. She didn't force you. And also, you picked a Maya that made a laundry get sent home, like everybody crying, all that, because you kissed Amaya. So don't even try to act like you were not trying to do that and you was not here for that and everything. But the reason why you picked her because y'all kissed. If that's the case, you could have just picked Alondria. Then Amaya would be sent home. So don't try to say act like, oh, because of that, Amaya was doing too much. You wanted to jump in the bandwagon and knowing that was no issue for you. And now you look stupid. And now everybody not liking you. So Pepe and Grayson talk. Pepe say his way that he's stuck in the past. And he using her for the process to string her along. It's just not fair for her because she is not getting experience that she needed to because you is stuck on Hannah. And how many times she gonna keep bringing how much time the past gonna keep coming up. And it's robbing her experience because she's all up on you, but you not giving her the chance. So he said he just don't feel a spark with Grayson. He's not because of Hannah or whatnot, but he don't want to string her along anymore. So he just said that's it. He just kind of broke up with her, but he wasn't rude about it. He just said I just can't. So it just left Grayson like upset, confused. Because I said, damn, if you was feeling this the right way, why you couldn't say nothing? That's what I'm saying. If you was feeling some way about that, you was so strung up on Hannah and everything, you could have said something to Grayson on this long time. Don't be trying to string her along and do everything. And so when you still feel about Hannah, bye. So Grayson and Clark talking. She told Clark that Pepe ended with her. I said, So Amaya and Brian talk, and he said he liked the weirdo, crazy type people. That's what he likes. He get a kick out of it. He said they talk, and she said thank you for him for sticking up for her. She didn't want to feel alone and make her not feel alone at that moment. And he said she got qualities the type that he looked for. So I said, okay, cool. We'll see how this how this blossom between these two. So Shelly and Huda talk, and Huda apologized for what she done. And I guess we did not see, but it seemed like Huda did the most by twerking her little twat and the Ace face and everything. Or at least that but nether regions towards his face that make everybody feel like she was doing the most. And it's all I give respect to the friendship. And she said the switch up was too crazy. It said the switch up on her was too crazy and everything. I said I don't think it was a switch up. I think it was so much of a build up. It was a build up for all a long time. They had to deal with you, and it just came out. So they apologize, they forgive each other, and they hug it out. So Alondra, Shelly, and Huda is good right now. They good. So Taylor Clark talking, he apologized to her, saying sorry when he had to go through that, and he wanted to wait to talk to her, but I guess it came out then. And when I saw text, America feel about them. They got a text. They're gonna see how America feel about them. So it's gonna rate the system. And I said, yeah, let's see how this goes. So you gotta wait. They're gonna use different scenarios. They're gonna wait from the most to the least, or the least to the most. No, most to the least. Right? Then they go, the guys and the girls will line themselves up, and then the prospective different side will agree or disagree with the ranking that they person picked did, and then they can switch them on they switch, and then they will see how America voted. I like that. Whoever wins that category will get like a confetti on them. Whoever loses will get some slime on them. All right. So the first one was the girls who was the most to least genuine. So the guys was lining themselves up. The girls felt like model Zach was the least genuine, and they said the most genuine was Elon. Right there. So America voted, and they voted Pepe first, Chris, then Zach, model Zach, then Nicholas, then Elon, then Brian, then TJ, then Austin, then Ace, and Taylor. Now Ace was close towards the towards the last, and Taylor was all the way in because they say the reason why they feel like he was most genuine because he strung Alondra along. He was not being truthful. He picked Clark. So people in America like that at this point, they was like hating on him. They don't like freaking Taylor. And Ace was like, whoa, why I'm all the way towards the end. So now he got to wake up. He got shaken up because he feel like America don't like him because they said America feel like he's a leader. He's taking over things, and he's not being genuine. He's being fake and whatnot. So I was like, ooh, chill. So he was shocked that he was towards the least genuine. I said, hey, more power. Oh, so the next category was who was the best boyfriend material for most to least. So they rank the girls rate Ace the best boyfriend material, and then rate the worst Austin material. Austin was the least, the worst. So America voted. They said Pepe first, Chris second, and Nick, then Elon, then Model Zach, then Brian, then TJ, then Ace, then Austin, and Taylor. Ace still feel type of way about being close to the end, and everybody else, especially the Castle always getting ranked higher than him. So he was like, "What is going on here?" And Taylor still laughed because America don't like Taylor at this point. So let's rank the least trustworthy. So the boys lined up. They felt like Jaden was the most trustworthy, and the least trustworthy was Huda. The girls lined up. And so America voted. They said Maya first, the Iris, the Alondria, the Grayson, the Huda, the Sierra, the Jaden, the Shelly, the Alondria, and Clark. Now, the reason why I don't understand why Clark was last, because I think Clark was collateral damage, because we don't know enough for her to be the least trustworthy. All I think of is that because she's connected to Taylor, she will be rated last. So basically, America she was collateral damage. Because Clark will say, "Damn, I'm least trustworthy. I don't know how I could give that." So who was the most to least genuine? So they said Laundry was the most. Least was Angelina. So America wrote the Maya, the Iris, Alandria, the Grayson, the Hulla, the Jaden, the Sierra, the Andrina, the Shelly, and Clark. Now Shelly is also another one which say, "Whoa, wow, I'm close to the end." Because at this point, Shelly and Ace had like one of the strongest connections. So the fact that they always saw as the end as least trustworthy or least genuine, it made them feel something. They say like, "What is happening here?" Because they ain't like what y'all was doing. So America would say, to those. And then who the couples you will get. At this point, we would feel like Maya was the most trustworthy, and she was America most trustworthy, and she was the most genuine. So at this point, Brian realized that, model Zach realized that, and then maybe Elon is starting to realize that Maya is very popular. So maybe try to get in the good graces with this girl, and maybe it can let us lead towards the end. Mm-hmm. So who the couples you were going on the most on vacation with? To the most, to least. So America rated Maya and Zach, and they was holding hands. I said, "How y'all holding hands when y'all just was having beef?" So what's that? What's that about? Holding hands and everything. But whatever. Maya and Zach, Sierra and Nick, Grayson and Pepe. I'll say, "Oh, great, they broke up." How the hell y'all voted Grayson and Pepe on the when they broke up? But this was voted at before all this came out. Huda and Chris. Then we got Iris and TJ, then Jaden and Austin, and then Andrina and Brian, and then Shelly and Ace, and Clark and Taylor. Once again, Shelly Ace said, "Damn, wow." So remember kind of rate their favorite girl and favorite boy. The one who least amount of votes will be going home. So 3 boys and 3 girls who got the least votes will be on the chopping block. And they only have to say one person out of the 6. They would say, "Oh, what? What?" Yes, only one person. So they say one person. And here it goes. So you got to stand behind the person who you want to save. So Clark. Oh, so the bottom 3 girls was Jaden, Grayson, and Andrina, and the bottom 3 boys was TJ, Taylor, and Austin. I said, "Okay, let's get see." So Clark went to save Taylor, of course. I just went to save TJ, of course. But Brian went to save Jaden, because I think he was attracted to Jaden too at some point, and he wanted to talk to him. But keep safe with Jaden. Pepe saved Taylor. Elon saved Grayson. Alondria saved Austin. I said, "They are Alondria. Why you pick Austin? You was the only one who stayed behind Austin." But why Austin, girl? I mean, that that was good, cool friends. I hope they could say good friends outside of Villa. We'll see how that goes. Huda saved Adrina. Chris saved Jaden. Model Zach went to save TJ. Amaya went to say Adrina. Shelly went to say Adrina. Nicholas went to say Taylor. Ace went to say Taylor. And Sierra went to save Taylor. And we was like, "Oh, really?" Because she did that because Nick stood by Taylor. So she wanted to do it for her man. Stay by her man. Because that's what she said later on. Because Alondra felt something way about things. Say, "Damn, you just saw what happened. You saw what he did to me. And you still saved him because of your man." Feel type of way about that. For he might be sad about Taylor leaving. At the end of the day, somebody got to go home. So I was like, "Oh." Taylor safe. So Laundry for something like that. I said she should. She should. And I wanted to see how she addressed that with Sierra. So at this point, Jaden, Grayson, Adrena, Austin, and TJ got dumped for the island. All 5 of them. So that's that. So Iris was crying because TJ go home because, TJ can knock the box. Because Iris also was getting her freak on too. She got it from TJ and she got it from Pepe. I said, Chad, y'all talk about her, you talk about her too. And Pepe was freaking a lot of people. So, Chad. So I would say I finally felt like, I don't want to start all over. I said, you just got with TJ, good. But I ain't that serious. She didn't want to start all over. So 10 o'clock, he apologized for the votes because he noticed that the reason why she got low ratings because of him. And because don't like him like that. So she got on and she's like, it is what it is. So Ellie's, what the hell I'm saying? Ellie's. and I'm drinking. So Shelly and Ace talk. And she confused by the votes, but it don't feel no type of way about each other. They're going to do what they're going to do. They're going to continue to be who they are and whatnot. So you're wondering if Iris is open. He would like to talk to her. Elon would like to talk to Iris and see how that goes. So Alondra felt hurt by Sierra saving Taylor, as she should. So Sierra apologized. She said, I apologize because it was all because of Nick. And that's why. And everything. And I said, okay, we can't have any more conversation about that. I said, so why? Because of Nick? Goodbye. So Pepe and Iris talk, and he was shocked by America how they get caught up. Chris and Huda, he talked about his dreams, overseas basketball, 9 months straight, but he can't focus on other things. He might have to give that up because he said because he'd be away from overseas and basketball for 9 months, he not really had time for relationship and everything. So he might have to give that up if that's what he wants in the future. But then he's like, feel bad about that. But Huda was like, no, don't give it up. That's your dream. You can make things work and whatever. Calms him down. He likes Huda to help him get out his head, and she likes him because it calms her down. So Nick and Brian talk, and he was shocked. He stood by Jaden, and he said it's possible on Maya with eyes on her. He got eyes on her, so it was like, okay. Yeah, why you step out with Jaden when you had eyes on Maya, but Maya was not in the bottom chopping block, but whatever. Amaya talked to Clark, and you can see Amaya like the person who people go to and talk to. She understanding and whatnot. Because at one point, Alondra was that, but a lot of people haven't been going to Alondra lately to talk. So Amaya has been the person who been people talk to and coming to and have good advice and cheer people up and whatnot. So Amaya would talk to Clark. She didn't deserve to be last. We all know she was collateral damage and whatnot, and Clark understand that. She appreciate that. Say. But she talked about her being a crybaby, emotional chick. She said that's not really her like that. But hey, we haven't seen it. But I guess it's the circumstances that how she been hurt by the guys. So she ended up start crying and whatnot. So Aisha Shelley talked and made breakfast. She made breakfast and she thought about everything. And she told them, you know what? I don't want to explore anymore. I know what I got. I know it's real with you. And it whatnot. Now, granted, at that point, I said, wait, he all about Shelly. She don't want to explore anymore. So I said, oh, y'all closed off? Are you announcing the closed off? But they didn't even officially close it off yet. But at this point, they is not exploring any other people. It called it to her. She said she got what she got, and he was happy about that. He appreciate that, and they can't say what up. So they have a challenge called Crashing Out, and they got to pick the person. Whoever's going, they got to pick a wingman, and they got to pick a category based on they like say, or you're a texter or you're a caller. And you can stand by whatever you want to stand by. And then you got to run rush to the door. One of them is fake, so you will hit the brick and come back. And one of them is real, you go through. And then after that, you're gonna be going through a little sliding pool, and they be throwing stuff at you. And then you're gonna have a circle of truth where you're gonna say we gotta say about what's your crash out moment, and you get a pie in your face. And then, as always, pick a person you kiss at the end. It's always a kissing part in the challenges. Right? So Nick came, Nick was first. He picked Alondria as the main person. Then he kissed Sierra. Of course, that was a girl. So his crash out when he left the villa, basically. It's a Taylor thing. He picked Ace as the main person, and he played Clark as supposed to the kiss. His crash out when he was able to twerk on Megan Thee Stallion. That's what he did. So Ace pick Alondria as a wing person, and he kissed Shelly. And his crash out when his guy Nick left the villa. Cause you know when Nick came back, he was like, so Model Zach, he picked Amaya as the main person, and then he went to kiss Alondria. That's the only time you can get to kiss her, because he couldn't kiss her outside of challenges, so he could be able to kiss her and do challenges. He said, "All right, that's all. You smart, you smart." He said he crashed out when Austin left the villa. I ain't know you also would like it close, but okay, whatever. So Chris came and he picked Brian as the main person, and he kissed her. He said his crash out when he said his bed is not big enough, because you know he's a tall ass motherfucker. So Pepe came, he took Taylor as the main person, and he kissed Iris. And he said his crash out was someone leave the villa, basically. Elon went next. He picked Sierra as the main person, and he kissed Iris. And he said his crash out when Nick was still in the villa, because Nick is competition. You could get Sierra, but you know Nick is still here. That's his competition, right? So Brian next was last. He picked Huda as a wing person, and he picked Amaya to kiss. And his crash out was he never crashed out. Good. So the ultimate crash out person was Ace, so he won. And the girls and guys talk. Amaya and Model Zach. He said he apologized for bringing some heat to her. So she felt bad for name cursing. Apologized for cursing out his name and cursing out him. But he apologized for jumping on the bandwagon and staying on your business, and instead of not speaking up, and he realized he should have defended her instead of attacking her all at once, right? So he apologized, she apologized as well. They have a heart to heart, and it's good. And he's only doing that because you know Maya is the most liked now. She's the most liked, and she's a popular person. So he's trying to get in good graces with Maya, and hopefully that she could pick him to save him towards the end. We know he ain't slick because you know he messed up, and he realized that Maya was really is the most liked. So now he got to make amends. So hopefully she will save him, right? Nick and Sierra is good. They close doors, so they can focus on one person. They focus on each other until it goes deeper, right? So Shelly and Chris talk, and they cleared the misunderstanding. What was happening? Because you know this whole thing about her bringing him back. Her did talk to Shelly about bringing him back. She also did tell Shelly that she could still explore him, but she did tell Shelly that she was interested in Chris and she bringing him back. Shelly said cool and everything because she was focused on Ace. That's why I understand that whole little mix-up and the misunderstanding, because there was no misunderstanding. And then y'all did have a conversation when they got back to the villa. They was talking. He said he want to make a song about you. Y'all did have a conversation, but you still were mostly on Ace, and he realized that. So because he focused on Ace more, he started focusing on Huda. So he took a step back. There was no hard feelings between both of them. They understanding, and it's good. Pepe Iris taught. Since she had 3 boyfriends up to she was age 24, and she never cheated. They had fun in the challenge, and she hates sleeping alone. So I guess she have a good warm body to sleep next to Pepe. And Pepe loved his blondes, right? He loved his blondes. Right? So Brian and Maya talk, and she's blushing hard, and she's like, she was doing all that, and he just said, "Oh, I got you laughing like that. Why you blushing?" She blushing. So she loved the lounge setting. She a big solo person. I think she's been solo. She physical touch, her lung language, and she loves the way she is. She not apologizes. That's who she is. She loves who she is. He said she ticks all the boxes that he has, and then they kiss and whatnot. And that's when she had like the grandma moo moo or something like that. I think that was when she had the moo moo on. Chris and her foot had fun in the challenge, and they need to laugh. So she don't feel weird for telling him things. I said you shouldn't feel weird to tell your partner that you're interested in things. Like she get to know him. So Brian and Maya are happy with each other for now. Iris wants to explore people. Now it's time for explore. I said, go ahead, explore, girl. Taylor is planning on a picnic date for Clark. So he has Ace helping. Ace was being very funny, running around the villa, getting everything for him, and being a waiter, and he was being funny and um, jovial. And it was cute. It was funny. I laughed a little bit because I said he's running and trying to help everything on, trying to stall Clark. I had Maya to stall Clark because Maya asked, girl, so what's your favorite color? What you like to eat? Would you go out for fun? Do you like to read? She would ask us some real questions. And Clark said, girl, why she asking me all this? What's going on here? Right? So actually asked for help. Amaya was starting Clark until they came to get her. They got Clark and everything. And she loved the fake thing. She said, oh my gosh, it's so cute. And he initiated the thing and whatnot. It's like he doing all this now with Clark, but he couldn't do none of that stuff for laundry. And he had to be pushed to do so. So I said, Chad, I see you could tell that who he really liked. Say, oh, she ready to be a country girl? She said, well, I'm a girl's girl. I like that. I'm a city girl, so I don't know about that. So we'll see. And I put a post on Twitter, and it got a lot of likes. I think. And I don't know why he would think that she just uproot her life and assimilate to his things when he could just meet her halfway. Meaning that she could still understand that that's what he like. That's part of his life. He's farm. He going to vet school and whatnot. But he could still have that, but also still meet her halfway. So meaning that she don't have to uproot and just go completely country and live in a farm like that. Maybe they could meet halfway somewhere where there's more suburban area and everything. She could have her steady life a little bit still. And still, he had the farm. He could be close to proximity to the farm. Like he could drive to the farm, taking the animals and everything. Still go to vet school and still do these. So she wanted to be completely to farm life, but also at the same time understanding that she would be a farmer's wife and everything, whatever, a girlfriend. And he could still go to school and everything. So we halfway. You don't have to completely do one out. Or she realized she can't do it, and that's all him, and she just gotta let things go. But I feel like she noticed by coming to Villa as a bombshell, a castle girl, she already knew what kind of life he is. She already seen it. So if she was not interested in that, maybe she just say that. But we'll see how it goes. Cause it seems like they're still good for now. See clips together, they do interviews and everything. It seems like they're good for now. So we have to see. Hopefully, hope they have a halfway point. Cause I've been growing up in the city all my life. I would not be comfortable going completely rural or something like that. I could go suburban. I don't mind a peaceful life. Like I went to my friend lived in Virginia. I don't mind living up there because it's nice, peaceful, and everything. I like that peaceful life, but it's still not too far from cities, things, and everything. It's not completely country. There's not surrounded with people. You don't have a community of buildings next to you or people you talk to, everything. When I went to Maryland this past week, that area was nice. When I went to Greenbelt, the area was nice. Clean, fresh air. It was not so far from a lot of restaurants. It was not so far from a lot of groceries and big chain stores and everything. It's not too far. You just have a car, but it's not too far. So I could do that type of thing. But to go complete rule, I can't do that. So you just gotta know what can you do. Y'all let me know how y'all do. I mean, talking to myself. I know people watching me, but I'm talking to myself. So I always hear people talk about family. That's cute. Brian and Maya talk about home and the place of origin, and it feels like it keeps him young. It keeps us young. So at this point, Sierra left the villa. She left the villa through personal issues, personal reasons. And I say, wow. So if y'all don't know, I guess it was some posts that I was gonna say that was like, listen, these people get in the villa. These people are a big production company. If fans can find out, now it could be one of two things. If somebody had a vanilla against Sierra and saved her post, and then when she got on the TV and just kind of blew up and said, "Oh, I had this. Is this what she said? Whatever and whatnot." Or people was really searching their socials. That's what I'm saying. When people hire these people or get them to look through their social before you even put them on the show. And I know they're trying to work on doing stricter vetting process for next season. But I said you should have been had that, because how you go from a last season was very authentic cast and really much to find about them. It was nobody had to get sent home due to freaking racist comments or whatnot. For you to eliminate two people, send two people home to kind of disrupt the process of people experience, because you is catering to the crowd who watching, which is America. Because we all know why you all watching. Because that's the reason why you had to be fair. Since you did that to Lissa, you had to do that for Sierra. Now, Lissa thinks she was saying the N word. I think that's what her basic comment. She was saying the N word, and then Sierra made a slur by saying that because she got her eyes done, the course saying chinky eyes, and that's like a slur in the age of culture. So I guess somebody corrected her, so she didn't realize that, she didn't know, and not do it again. Now she realized that she will not use the word. But since they say she was apologizing, she didn't want to go and everything, but they had to send her home to make a statement. So I said, next season, get y'all vet these people, watch their social, especially if you go hire people who have social media account and following or TikTok or whatnot, because seems like a lot of people was influencers or have social media following before they got on the show. That's why it made it so freaking crazy this season, because a lot of people was woke and consciously woke in this show, and they know how to play the game more so they find the connections. So hopefully you don't have too many people. Have regular people who may have social media accounts but don't have a lot of following. So they just post a regular thing and you don't get much engagement. They they really have much to give to go by. Now you can hire me. I do YouTube and everything, but people can go by my YouTube channel and say, "Oh, he does YouTube. Let's see what he's saying." And they go try and say something that they might not like, and say, "Oh, we got to get him out the show because he had a." But I have a small platform, not big, but and whatnot. I'll probably do okay because I don't really in my socials not really much going on. It just commenting about things and whatnot. But I'll just say that to say is that hopefully next season they do a better job, and especially they get people and scrub through that whole thing. You have a large production company to go through everybody's social and look at the things. And people can go back to freaking years ago before this is 2025. People can go back to 2023 or 2024 or 2022 to look at tweets. Y'all can do that. Y'all can do that. Especially you influencing that person to coming on the show. Y'all can do that. Y'all have them funds and means, opportunities to do so. So I'm just saying that she got let go because of that. So that broke up freaking Nick and Sierra connection. And I was like, oh, child. Oh, they trying to do this again and force us into this Nick and Andrea. Now, get me wrong. I'm not hating on that connection and whatnot. So, like I said, I don't like root for nobody and whatnot. I just feel like, I don't explain why I feel like more. Because I say, a lot of them was being too respectability with the people and being too friendship conscious instead of exploring the connection that it's supposed to be doing. And not stepping on anybody's toes, but at the same time, do the experiment. Because if he really wanted to get to know the girl, if he went into someone to approach Alondria and everything, I think he could have did that at the beginning. And yes, I don't care about the interview. I see yes, people saying in the interview that he said, "Oh yes, he was interested in Coach, but he talked to Taylor, and Taylor said no." He went. I said, who's Taylor? He don't own Alondria. You can still talk to Alondria. Let Alondria make her own decision. Like Bella, excuse me, when Bella got off, she said she wanted Taylor. Taylor was her type, but she didn't approach Taylor because I think Nick or something like that. I said, "Who is y'all? Like, why are y'all doing this?" Or approach Taylor because of Alondria. So they would be very respectful for the person. But I said, no, at the same time, this is what it is. Explore. Y'all can still support each other and still try to find a connection y'all want. And if it's somebody that really into, you go ahead. That's what last season was doing. They was into each other. They was talking to people and everything. It was not like they was being disrespectful, except on each other's shows. They realized the process and is very authentic, and they still support each other. Because this is a connection. Whenever you can find a connection, this is what it is. Yes, emotion might be involved, but at the same time, they understood. But this season, they were so gung-ho about keeping the friendship thing, they lose the plot of love and the connection. So I feel like if Bella was interested in Taylor, she could have seen that. We could have seen that, and they're like, okay, she had other connections that just going on Nick. And at the same time, Nick was on like Alondria, and that's what everybody was saying. Hey, Queso, how you doing, boo? Alondria, he could have approached that too. I don't care about no Taylor or Nick or Alondria got to say. No, at the end of the day, that's the process, and that's what made it kind of wild us all about it. Because at the end of the day, okay. So that's how I would say. So now he's officially single. He said his mind was clear when he had Sierra. Now he's unclear. I said, then you can go home. You closed door with the girl. Now I know recently he said in an interview that when Sierra got let go, he was not told the reason why she had to let go. He was this close to going sent home, but he thought about that, but he wanted to stay. But I said, no, go home and say it. And go meet the girl. Go and meet the girl. Yes. Yeah. He wasn't going anywhere. Cause I said if their connection was so strong, Nick, they go her. But we also know that he wasn't feeling that girl like that anyway. He wasn't feeling Sierra. He could say whatever he want to say, that he had the strong connection and everything, because that's the only connection he really had. The fact that y'all was knocking the boots and everything, 25 seconds or 40 seconds. Want for the sheets. But she gets sent home. You stayed. Okay. So he don't know who you explore. I said, you don't know? Okay. So Marlon, Zach, and Maya talk, and he's still feeling her. I said, oh, you feeling Maya now? You wasn't feeling her a long time ago. Now you feeling her because you know she's his favorite. And now all of a sudden you still feeling her. I said, no, you done. You wasn't feeling her. Stop playing. Now you trying to flip-flop and switch? No, we ain't having that. He said he's still open to explore him and whatnot. So Maya got a hot camaraderie. Now she got Model Zach out there. She got Brian. And then we got Elon going to talk to her. So Shelly and Ace talk about his upbringing. They said, talk about the upbringing. She said it was a roller coaster. She had to live in a shelter. I lived in a shelter when I was growing up too. My mother, her single mother. She had both my younger brother and myself. At one point, we lived in a shelter before we got to her house that she had now. Everything. So, before our childhood home, and then over here another childhood home. So that's what it is. But she said her family is in a better position. But Ace said he did talk to Shelly. He said he could see that Nick and Alondra could rekindle something. Whatever it is, they could rekindle. I said, okay, cool. So Ace talked about how he was sleeping on the beach at one time, a beach chair. He had to go up fast, and he was tough to find a sense of happiness. So he had a hard knock life, basically. And I said, oh, okay. Now you understand more about these people, their hardship and whatnot, and you can start understanding more why they move the way they move. So Nick and Alondria talk, and he said that definitely opens a connection. He will be there for her, and they will be there for each other. And he said for him to be comfortable and attracted to, he was comfortable and attracted to her, and they will keep on chugging for this relationship. I like, so she said she still would like to get to know model Zach, but she said mad how he went about it. Oh, she don't like how he went about it and whatever, but she's still trying to get to know about him. Oh, and then I think she talked about Taylor. She didn't like how he went about it and everything, but she's still trying to get to know model Zach. But she said, how you feel like the Taylor was in the bottle and everything, and great. She said, I feel great. Wasted no time. I feel great. You think you gotta get a PR statement? That's not happening. I feel great. He was in the bottom and the good. So they had a Kiki moment. They cracked up. So Alon and Monty was talking, and it's like Alon started like Alon had on the collection. He can't get Sierra, and well, right? I feel great. And I said, oh, champ, waste no time. I know that's right. So Elon and Amaya, hold on, y'all. Elon and Amaya talk, and he said he loved Latin food. I said, I love Spanish Latina food too. He liked the food too, and he said he liked her tacos, and she talked about food himself, and he said he loved the exciting life. She don't like to be bored. All right, so Alondra and Model Zach talk, and he said he a provider. He was an emotional support person. And he said he's a handyman. He like to do little things around the house. I know that's right. Go ahead, fix this shit, bitch. And I was like, go fix it. Because I ain't fixing nothing now. Granted, since I live on my own, I had to put things together like this table and this chair and things and like that. So I had to do things on my own, like putting the blinds up that I normally don't do myself. And I said, oh, child, with an instruction rack, can I pay somebody to do it? But I said, no, let me do it. I got to do it. Just like that. If I put my mind to it, I can, but other than that, why not? Why pay somebody to do it? Like, come on, man. So he wants a woman that gets him, and he will give her everything, and he wanted to kiss, and he said he wanted to be patient for Alondria. I said, okay. So the couple that's happening, the girls will have to choose. So the boys will not choose, will be single and votable. He was. He basically was. That's what I say. He's full of it. He was. He told the two girls the same thing. Same thing. See, Ilana is interested in Maya. Model Zach is interested in Alondra and Amaya. Nick and Alondra have a conversation before they had the recoupling. They like to continue to get their nose. She'd like to continue to get things out of him. They have always been on the same page. And they see how to make this work. Okay. So they wouldn't mind exploring to find a spark in their relationship. And it's interesting how that's why I said at one point I was buying it because it said Nick was Nico Frico. That's his nickname, right? Nico Frico. This guy was more lustful and sexual throughout his whole time in the villa. Even with his closed door partner Sierra. For all him to go turn a 180, it could be completely different when it comes to Alondria. And I will say that he made me respect Alondria more because he willing to respect her boundaries and everything, and he respects her a lot more than he probably respects Sierra. Doesn't mean that he probably didn't respect Sierra, and he probably respect Alondria way more. The fact that he would not do what he normally do for Alondria like he normally did before for everybody else. Because he meant to tell me you're gonna switch up that quickly. He just said, "Oh no, I'll be just stay awake, slow burn type of person for you. I ain't gonna be no sexual with you like that. I will wait to kiss you, all that stuff. I said, yeah, like he was a play throughout this whole time. Now, don't get me wrong, they could make it work if they really try. And maybe he needs somebody like Alondra to keep him on his toes, to make him a little more mature. And maybe she needs someone like him too, to have fun, to be adventurous, to open up more. So we'll see how this goes. Was I'm staying for them? No. Yes, she acquires more, and he knows that. But I was a buyer that he was willing to do all that so quickly like that. I was not buying that so quickly, but we'll see. So they're coupling. So the boy who's not in the coupling will go home tonight. So the girls had to pick. So Shelly picked Ace, of course. Clark picked Taylor, of course. Huda picked Chris. Of course, they all gave us speeches why you had to pick the person you picked. I ain't want none of that down. Iris picked Pepe. Alondria picking Nick. And it was like, oh, okay. And then Maya picked Brian. So Marlo, Zach, and Elon had to go home. They got done. So Nick said he get nervous. He get nervous and he's trembling when he talks to Alondria. She said, I make you nervous? Yes, he make him nervous. Because you can't be the F-boy or the player when it comes to Alondria. So you gotta speak clearly and gotta be direct and come correct when it comes to speaking to Alondria. So they said they find out they keep going back to each other. I said, yeah, because now I was watching somebody's panel and then somebody was going hard for Andrea stairs and say, because Ariana said nobody was going back, nobody was going home and whatnot. But I said, but they had a choice though. Because they said either y'all be coupling and go back in the villa or stay single and go home. They choose to come back. So at the end of the day, even though they didn't say nobody was coming back, they still had to make a choice. Now, I guess most people will say yes to stay longer. But I said if you had interconnections, that's what it is what it is, why not go home? So at the end of the day, they had a choice. Even if she said everybody was coming back. They can come back to each other. I said, yeah. Taylor didn't work out. Sierra got sent home. But Sierra is sent home where he would try. No, he wouldn't try. He would stay with Sierra. That's the point. And I was like, okay, the only way he's going back with Alondria right now is because Sierra got sent home. That's why I wish, like I said, y'all should just stop playing that friendship thing and just explore that and find out. Because we wouldn't have to be going through all this right now. We want to see that blossom at the beginning. But because they was like, they always got sent home, made them get together. Then they said it was all a friendship thing. It was no spark. And now they got a second chance to make it work at this point. So, okay, good. So they had to vote for the favorite couples next. So, Alondria heard her talk. Alondria feels like she felt good. She got a second chance. It's a great connection. They really have built a bond, a friendship, so they could take the next step. So they really built the solid friendship. So it's fun to watch. Hunter said it's very fun to watch. And it's like at this point, everybody was okay with Nick Alondria. Nobody even get a damn about Sierra. They would say, oh, Sierra who? Sierra what? I don't know Sierra. Because at this point, nobody really said nothing about Sierra. That's my nigga Sierra. Everyone was okay. Yes, girl. Nick Alondria. They said nothing about no Sierra anymore. They just completely forget about her and they go gung-ho about their two connection. I said, oh, child, that was messed up. So Pepe and Iris is talking and he said he feel great. and have him in a box, but he's like, he was off limits, whatever, I don't know that. So Amaya and Brian talk, and he from Boston, she's from New York, and he said he'll probably go to New York. I said, no, that's right, because Massachusetts is not that far from freaking New York anyway. So it's not that much of a travel. You can still come back and forth. And I said, I know that's right. You better come down to New York and try and see your girl. And then sometimes you can come up there to see her and whatnot. But I heard recently that 3 of the guys who was on the show was going to move in together. I think Brian, Nick, and Chris, I believe. And they're going to move in LA. I said, everybody going to move to LA? What's going on? That's the go-to spot? Because I know Kendall moved to LA from last season. I think Codell and them in LA. I don't know about Janae and Kenny. So y'all gonna move mates to live together? So you gonna be further away from Maya? Brian, because it's like the best thing you say you like about her and Maya connection is that y'all was living close to each other. Now that you gonna be going over there, we'll see how that goes. She said she on her first date with him in the city. She had no regrets of picking him and everything. So all right. So Nick and Ace talked, but he said it wasn't meant to be. But he said, yeah, right. It was meant to be for being Landria. So the boys have a fight in the room. The girl said, what the hell is going on with these boys? I said, boys are gonna be boys. Should I put a condom on the hood of pillow? It will not. So Huda and Chris is freaky deaky, and Pepe and Iris is freaky deaky. I said, Iris, you just got coupled up with Pepe, and you already freaky deaky with him. I said, Chad, Pepe was laying that deep. I said, Huda, did you learn from being too sexual and physical so quickly with Jeremiah? And look at how that turned out. And now you're going to give your piece to Chris and you're going to turn out the same way? Maybe not the extreme as you was with Jeremiah, but at least at some point. Because she started throwing her behind a little bit too. We're going to get to that in a minute. So I said, girl, you made this mother calm down to have sex. And then you grown. Y'all in your 20s, y'all grown. You can't tell y'all what to do. But at the same time, like, y'all know that complicates things. So the island is working up with baby crying. I said, oh, should they have a baby challenges? They're going to have I said, oh, Chad, why are we doing this here? I said, Island, just now getting a couple. It's not even closed off yet, but we're going to have baby challenges. So baby crying, and they're going to say, they're going to be text from the parents for the day, and they're going to be registered the interactions and whatnot. And whoever wins, they will tell whoever wins because they're going to view their connection with the babies. So they named the babies. Ace and Shelly named the baby Apollo and Chase. Right? Amaya and Brian named the baby Elijah. Pepper and Iris named the babies Lois and Pepper. Oh, not Pepper. Lois and Peter. Lois and Peter. Nick and Landria named their baby Marcel because that was Nick's middle name. I said, oh, Nicholas Marcel. That's cute. Everybody said, oh, Nicholas' middle name is Marcel. And I said, yeah, I guess it's French or something. So Taylor and Clark named their baby Alea. And child, Clark Betty was even touching that baby. I don't think she didn't even freaking hold the baby. Taylor was mostly more hands on with that baby than Clark was. Clark would say, okay, I know what the hell you talk about. I'll push that baby out. You can take care of everything else. I know that's right, girl. Because she even lift a finger of that baby. It was all Uncle Taylor. Taylor was taking care of everything. Because she was lounging around, chilling. I said, no, that's like Clark. And her little Chris named their baby later. He said he would have at least 3 kids. Not once. Not even once. She even touched that baby. I know that's right. Clark said, man, I can't wait 9 months. You take care of it. I'll pump the milk and everything. You go ahead and do everything else. Chris said he wanted at least 3 kids. 5 or 6 bags. I said, y'all over these large numbers. I said, it's cute when y'all have these numbers, but when it comes to reality, it's not that cute. But okay, you can take care of it. Hello. But then again, they were saying something how Clark usually the person who wants to do everything by herself. And she said, yeah. No, that means like she said she will be a single person. I don't know. Nicolandria. First Nicolandria named their daughter Hilton, and they realized they didn't have a girl, they have a boy. They said, "Oh, that is a boy." I said, "Yeah, let's get the freaking baby sex." But whatever. So it was cute. So it was Matt Cullen. He said he back up on her. The feeling things wasn't before. He feeling things about her that it wasn't there before. And so like, so Hulla is really taking it really serious. I said, Hulla, can you calm the F down? I said, Hulla. This is only a freaking dog. Yes, it's experiment, but it's not the actual baby. Just because you're a mom, because I'm a mom, mama sita, and everything. And I was saying, girl, calm down. She was very serious. Why is this? Doing that? No, that. Why you doing this? And why you doing this? I said, girl, calm down. You ain't even doing much anyway. So, girl, get out of here. So Hulla making side comments. I said, Hulla, you better stop it. See, you going back to you going back to what it was. Yeah, because I'm a mom. Right? So Maya Bryant talked. They said she would be a fun parent. She said she wants to soul ties with the baby. They think he will be a great father and whatnot. Taylor said he want 3 kids. He said he would be a fun parent. Clark said she would be a strict parent. And she said she would like at least have 2. Iris said she would like to have at least 5 kids. I said 5. Okay. Pepper said he would at least have 2. So the ladies having brunch upstairs. They having a whole brunch upstairs. I said, listen, when y'all leave the kids with the guys, the fathers, and the daddies, let them be. I know sometimes people like to be overly watchful, let this like that. Especially if you only I think you should be watching only if you feel like the guy's he's not doing a good job and he's not responsible. They need to be around. But at the end of the day, if he's doing at least a decent job, half decent job, don't be overly critical about every little thing how to raise a child. That's a child too sometimes, because you know sometimes when you gotta go away, he needs to take care of it. So let them be. Just because he don't do the child how you do the child doesn't mean that he's doing any harm. Unless you know have reasons that he will harm the child, then let the guys be. You will save yourself heartache by overstressing what the guy doing. You had sex with the person, so you had hopefully they would do something right? So let it be. So when y'all have a brunch, don't worry about the guys doing. Now the guy said, "Listen, we're gonna have a fun time. The ladies going to have a brunch. They live us with the babies, so we're gonna have an obstacle course and with a stroller race." And it looked very funny. I was laughing. I was saying, "Oh, they having a good time. They having a baby. They have a stroller race." Hoodie doing most with Chris, and she told her, "Shut up." She said, "Don't tell me to shut up. Don't tell me to shut up." He probably told her, I said, "I would say the same thing. Shut up." And I said, first of all, you said you was joking. I was joking too. I don't think he was being really serious, but he said, "Just shut up, bro." And I was saying the same thing, "Shut up," and I ain't apologizing. Yes, Mizzle ain't apologizing. Because you ain't going to come to me, talk to me, and how go crazy and think I won't say nothing. Because I don't let my mom talk to me crazy. I ain't gonna let nobody else talk to me crazy. So the only person, that's the only person who can talk to me crazy, my mom. But she don't even do that. So and I can choose to listen. Because I'm 39 years old. I can choose to listen and not listen. So now talk, listen. So if she don't do that to me, I ain't gonna let nobody else do that to me. So you just shut up. So Nick Alondra talked. She said she wanted a minimum of 2, maximum 3. He said he wanted no, that's what Nick said. He wanted a minimum of 2, maximum 3. Alondra said she wanted a minimum of 2, maximum 4. He said he wants a 2-parent household because that's how he grew up. So I said, well, that's right. You better have the ideal. She said it's not ideal for her to be a single parent, but she has to do. She will be. But I think she also would like a 2-parent household. I said yes, 2-parent household. Shelly Ace, and they came together as parents. However, they were arguing the most. I don't know. They could not get it together. They were trying to one up with each other, trying to figure out, I did this, or you did this, or why you do this, you didn't understand that, you ain't realized it. I said, oh, child, y'all too much. So, Huda and Chris. So it said what he did trigger her. I said, here she goes. Oh, child, here we go to Huda again. Here she goes. Huda Chris, she said, told us trigger. He said skipping her yoga. Now, granted, I do agree. He went to everybody down the road, asked them how you feel, and everything like that, and he just skipped Huda. So I do agree with that. He definitely did skip her. And I said, there, Chris, do you realize Huda was right there? You could at least ask her too. I mean, I agree with that. He could at least acknowledge Huda. So far that Shelly had to announce her and said, how you feel, Huda? And stuff like that. So she had to go around, stuff like that. So I do agree with that. So they put the mask away, say no big deal. But I said, yes, it is. Because if it was no big deal, you would never mention it. I don't like when people do that. If you mention something that bothers you, it's a big deal. Don't say mention it and say, oh, no big deal. No, it's a big deal. Because you wouldn't mention it. So thinks he listened and he wants to change. So he will listen, he wants to change for the sake of Huda. So when she asks him, that's what's like this point when I put in my thumbnail, y'all saw my thumbnail, I said Chris and Huda both get on my nerves. Because when she asks him, what do you want her to work on? That was a perfect chance for him to say something. Instead of saying something, no, he said, oh, no, I don't have nothing to say. Give me a kiss. I said, boy, bye. Boy, bye. That was a perfect chance. Even if she asked you, just like when Maya asked Austin, did I do something to make you uncomfortable? He said no. I said, y'all boys shut the F up and man the F up and talk. If a woman asks you something that bothers you and they want to change and learn and be better for you, that's your chance to speak up. Don't bottle it in and then blow up later on when I ask you, when was the time to speak up? And you didn't say nothing. I was annoying. Give me a kiss. Get the fuck out of here. So Taylor and Clark won the challenge. I said, oh, Taylor and Clark won the challenge. I said, what they win? Taylor did most of the work. Taylor did most of the work. But they won the challenge. Iris and Pepe passed. Huda and Chris passed. And Nick and Alondra passed. I said, all that arguing that Nick and Huda was doing, Huda and Chris was doing, and they passed. I said, okay, cool. Ace and Shelley failed, and Brian and Maya failed. I said, oh, damn. Now I understand why Ace and Shelley failed, because they could not get it on. They could not get it together. But Brian and Maya, I don't know why they failed. We'll never tell. So Nick and Alondra want to travel with the child because that's what Nick said. He said his parents did that with him. He got him traveling a little more the world. So he see the other things. So that's what he wants when he have children with himself. So Nick said he was looking at the chat GPT to how to adopt a child because he said he wants one, and he was looking at it to a point that if he couldn't get one, he could adopt. So that's cute. That's cute. Hope you sincere about that. But they love watching football. They connected by watching football. I said I don't watch football sports. I said the only time I watch football is with a group of people that I'm with. They watching football and I watching football. And the only thing I'm interested in is like, let me stop. Sure, y'all might be looking at the score, but I'm looking at something else. And I said, oh, what happening? Mm-hmm. They said, Mrs. better stop. Let me stop. Brian said he's not a slow burn. That's what we can tell. Y'all figure Latino men and women, y'all don't slow burns at all. Y'all get it in. I know that's right. So Chris had sex with Huda. I said, so we go tell everybody you have sex with her, huh? Why you can't keep it together? Like, tell I'm lying. And I'm lying? No. So you gonna tell Brian you had sex with Huda. So I mean, what if she wanted to know? What if she didn't want nobody to know y'all had sex? But at the end of the day, though, if y'all in the room together, everybody can see y'all hunched in the bed. So I don't need nobody to be surprised. But the fact that if nobody knew, why you didn't say something? So he had a stronger physical connection that he had sex with Huda. But now he still feels some way about what's going on with her. I said, so you should say something. Or whatever. So Nick and Ace talk, and Shelly and Alondra talk, and they say it was meant to be. Alondra and Nick was meant to be. That's why I said nobody really cared about Sierra, because they said about Nick and Alondra meant to be, it was always be. I said that was meant to be, it should have happened a long time ago. We had to have that elimination happen for them to be together. Gosh. So they like say it wants to pursue it romantically. It felt good. So they had to be selfish at the point. I said, I wish y'all would have been selfish at the beginning. I wish Bella would have been selfish. I wish you had been selfish. I wish we would have had some connections going on. But no, everybody was playing let's close by. Let's be a safe kind of role. They didn't want to shook the table. I said, okay. So Shelly gonna play the date for Ace. She's playing that s'mores date, and she had to figure out how to make the s'mores. I said, girl, it's on a graham cracker, marshmallows, and chocolate. You just gotta melt the marshmallows and put the graham cracker and chocolate together, it will melt together. And that's all you gotta make the graham crackers, right? So she asked Alondra for help. Ace is really happy because he said this is the nicest thing that somebody done for him. I said, oh, that's cute. And mine was a childhood memories. And I put in my parentheses, nobody even mentioned Sierra at this point. All happy for Nick and Alondra. Exactly. That would have been better to have this freaking forced elimination for them to be together, and they chose to be together. For them to say they was only a friendship thing, it was no romantic spark. For him to almost be eliminated again, that Sarah got left, she ain't had Taylor, and then for them to be like, oh, we could try this now. That didn't really touch them. It did touch them. I said, oh, look at Ace. I ain't gonna put that dimples and Ace got, child. I said, Mister, you better stop. Let me stop. I ain't gonna get your man grower. I ain't gonna go after your man grower. Pepe, I put Pepe in one note. Pepe, I don't think he really giving me much. Pepe is just one note to me. Him and I was talk. She said she got she not a helicopter mom. Her mom is not a helicopter parent, but she does tell her mother everything. And that's all he wants. He wants to kiss. I'll say, so you really don't kiss nothing. Like, boy, you don't give nothing else. You just give your looks and look at the person and then want to kiss. Nothing else. So I have a text. It's now Holloway is now open. I said now the Holloway's open. How long has Holloway been there? It looked like it was a freaking collected dust. The only time it was touched when Sierra got there, she was a bombshell. She picked Nick over there and whatnot. And who else was a bombshell at the time? Charlie? Yeah, I think it was Charlie. Sierra Charlie, right? Yeah, Charlie. There was at the Holloway. Other than that, the Holloway barely be open. So when they said Holloway, they said Maya Bryan. I said, damn, already? I would think they would have said Ellie, why do I keep saying Ellie? Shelly and Ace, because they had the most connection, but Shelly and Ace wasn't really physical like that. Or at least trying to have sex like everybody else. So they was like, it'd be a waste of having on them. Is it really outside? Why I don't know. So Maya Bryan. I put one like Ace or Shelly, but I said I already told them. And one couple go home tomorrow. But it was so funny. It was like Maya and Brian, and the Holloway. Eat that kitty, eat that kitty, eat that kitty in the Holloway. And eat that kitty, eat that kitty, eat that kitty in the Holloway. Yeah. Now Maya got on nice, her on red lingerie. Or Brian then took off his clothes and just had a box of brief on. You had no lingerie pants or nothing. That's all. You just took off your clothes. I guess you don't really need that much anyway. But whatever. I said, no, I don't need to be all dolled up too. Get them little nice little lingerie pants with your V, little show your little V shape down below and stuff like that. You ready at the body, but whatever. So Maya and Brian's in the Holloway. They got a little freaky dicky. They saw the kiss there. They used the whipped cream. Brian said, anyway, so until I get dressed, he said, let me just pull up my clothes, get my boxer briefs, and that's it. That's all he wore. At least last season, the guys at least got dolled up. They got the pants, they got changed their clothes, they didn't say wear no just boxes. So they happy they picked for the Holloway. And that was cool. So Clark and Taylor talk. And Taylor said he wanted to be closed over Clark. That's what he said in confessionals. And he said, would you want to wear it? She said he would like to have everybody have the cowboy hat with the shoes. And she said she liked that idea. I said, that's how you like he blend it. Because I said the wedding's supposed to be for two people. I don't, sometimes, to be honest, y'all might not like me, but I say, listen, I don't think the wedding should just all be up for the woman. It should be about two people. Two people get married, they both should have ideas. But I know everybody had this idea that the wedding is for the women. The man doesn't do nothing. He should have no input. And I said, nah, I'm not stressing myself doing all day by myself. You're going to have to sit here and make a decision with me, bitch. We ain't having this all this one-sided thing. I don't care how much money you're putting in there. We're going to have decisions together. And if I do make everything, don't come around complaining about it later on. Say, why you had this, why that? I said, well, you should have been here to make a decision with me. Period. So she said she liked the idea. Now, I don't think that should be done through the ceremony, but I think that should at least have that like a reception. Now, everybody got to have one of this. Well, you got to have that get made before the wedding. Because, when last week I went to a Nigerian wedding, and we had to, we paid for like that costume made. And y'all saw my Instagram. Y'all on Instagram, y'all will see the picture and everything. Or in my Discord, I posted on my Discord my outfit. So I was like, yeah, we got a custom made. So I said, oh, that was cute. She liked the idea. So hopefully that blended the idea and whatnot. Because she still got to have a dress. She can't have no cowboy hat with a dress on like that. And she go with couture. Cowboy couture dress. But she said she want an extravagant wedding. She want a big. I like a little big ass wedding. I like to get a more intimate kind of setting wedding and call it a day. So why are we wasting our money getting a big one? We could use that money for honeymoon and other stuff like that. I ain't got time. So she said she also don't want to do a sexy photo lingerie book for her man. That's right. I know that's right. So Chris and her talk. They said not to try to talk, but she said, "Don't tell her what to say. I just did. Don't tell her what to do. I just did." I said, "Girl, girl, bye. I don't know who you think you're talking to. You're not gonna tell me what you just did to me." I said, Huda, you do the most, girl. You do the most. I just did. And I would stop talking to you. Period. All right. So he said he don't want to give him a kiss. This is the whole contention about the kiss thing. He said I want to get a kiss in front of people. So she looking like this. But when he asked to give me a kiss, she was like, who's around? Who's a kiss? All right. I'm not kissing you in the public. I ain't know that. She did a little Kim dodging moves on you. It's said, kissing. Nah, she ain't kissing you. And I'm saying, okay, so y'all can have a whole full blown freaky dicky session in the freaking bedroom when around other people, even if you're under sheets. They still know what you're doing. That's still public around area. If you were supposed to be private, you could have just took them to the soul ties or took them to another place when nobody's around to know y'all have sex. But y'all in the bedroom, people could tell y'all have sex. So it's not like y'all really freaking it's not like you really doing anything. Like, girl, they know you have sex. So the fact that you doing that in a room full of people, I don't care if you're under the sheets. They can still know you freaking leaking. And you can't kiss them in public? That's weird. Because it's like, you comfortable doing things with me in private, but you're not comfortable in public, then I don't even want you. Unless you're a side chick or something like that, or a side dude. Then you gotta do things in private, because you can't be out in the open like that. Unless you're a side doing a side chick, you gotta be doing things in private. So yeah, it's fine to do things in private. But if you're a physical touch person, and that's your language of physical touch, then PDA is what you like. You can't tell me you are physical touch and PDA is disgusting to you. Yeah, I am. It's like, it don't make any sense. My love language is quality time. I say that all the time. You won't get far from me. Listen, if you want sexual thing, we gonna do sex. But if you want more a relationship thing, I like quality time. And even sexual things, it gotta be quality time. I like, well, you ain't getting nothing out of me if you ain't spending time with me. And then second is physical touch. So how you get the physical touch if you don't have the quality time? You can't have no quality time in the physical time. Come on, like you gotta know what you're doing. So quality time. So if I'm in a relationship and we don't spend time with each other, then what we doing? So you want to kiss a person? I was like, they don't make any sense. Her logic didn't make any sense because she said, yeah, it's a private, even though it's under the sheets, it's still private and everything, but it's a public. And I think she's doing that because she's somewhat kind of traumatized for the Jeremiah type of thing. So she's trying to take things a little bit differently. But I say, you don't have sex with a person and they don't want to kiss them in the public. You can still move differently, but do things the right way. Don't have sex if you're going to be slow burning. But you can't slow burn when you have given up the goodies already. So Pepper and I was freaking again. All right, and Amaya Bryan, he said he found her best friend in Brian. I said, cool. Okay, girl. So the guys and girls are excited. They need the tea. They said there was a jacuzzi in the bed. They went to 2 journeys. Also, 2 journeys? I know that's right. I don't know, lie like a rodeo. Don't lie, make a video. I'm gonna ride you like a rodeo. I know that's right. They had 2 journeys, back to back. That's a lot of the back to back. Yeah, now she wanted to fake like she was taking it. Yeah, exactly. You was taking things nothing slow, girl. You was taking things slow at all. So stop playing. They had 2 journeys back to back. I said, that's why you got stamina. You know, when you're in the 20s, you got the stamina going. That nigga flew like quick. And even after you figure come, you might stay hard again. So that's why what happened. You know, I'll be a little vulgar, but okay, this is a long channel. All right, like that. Yeah, so he kind of got it like that. It go back to back. When you start getting your little late 30s and 40s, you might have had that little energy like that. You still probably still, if you still go to the gym and be active and eating like food and stuff like that, yes, you can. You still can. Yes, you can. But she just said he ate that kitty. He ate that kitty in a hideaway. And that's why you better eat it. Like TLC, you better lick it before you stick it in that heat hot beat. And that's right. So Shelly ready for the right partner. She said she ready for kids with the right partner. That's so cute. So the Texas boys they had the basketball games. The boys decided to go to basketball game. I said, no, don't text me for no basketball game. We can play basketball. But I don't know what the hell I'm probably doing. But you know, sometimes I have basketball games. So it was fun. When you growing up in childhood, play basketball, it was cute and everything. It was fun. So that's not bad. So no girls allowed. So girls have to stay in the villa. So Ace, Pepe, and Brian versus Chris, Taylor, and Nick. So they was doing that. So the girls played Would You Rather. And they said, would you rather have a person who has a stink breath or stick underarms? And then they said, will you have a person who have a bad boot job or a bad behind booty job? And then he said, will you rather have somebody give you head? Would you rather have use your feet to jerk off the guy's penis or give head? I said, what the hell you thinking, girl? I don't know. I said that was kind of weird. So Landra, Huda, and Shelly talk, and Huda was saying, she said, oh, we communicate with so. I said, you communicate so well with who? Who you communicate so well with? I said, girl, bye, stop playing. He said, he felt calmer, felt like he is perfect, man. He's a perfect human being. And then guys talk about the girls. Well, bad breath, no. Bad boot job, and I better give head. You use my feet. Maybe you use my feet. Should I have to put my mouth on it? I say yes, fine. I said use the feet. You like it, though? You like it, daddy? You like it? Here, touch it. Let me tickle. So Taylor wants to be exclusive with Clark. Taylor wants to be exclusive with Clark. And they prepping for like a cheerleader thing. I said, because I think Clark said she used to be a cheerleader. I used to be a cheerleader too when I'm growing up. And in high school. A little bit in college, but I became a dance captain in college. And they want to, so after he prepped for the tears, he was teaching the guys the cheerleading moves that he want to do so he could be exclusive. He want to announce this to be exclusivity with Clark. I thought that's cute. Because it's like closed off is different from exclusivity. Closed off means they be closed off in the villa and they go continue to experience in the villa and that. But if you say he want exclusive, that means he want to be boyfriend, girlfriend outside the villa, outside this thing. Meaning they gonna be a relationship. It's a relationship outside the villa. So we all boyfriend, girlfriends when we get out of here. That's exclusive means. Okay? So he said he ain't want to be closed off with Clark. He want to be exclusive with Clark. I said, that's why you better act like it. So he gave a toast. I said, usually they'll give us toasts. Now he gave a toast speech. And then surprised the ladies with cheers. The girls, what the hell's going on? Hey, okay, give me a C, give me an L, give me an A, okay, RKE. And they said, what's on the day? He gave a little cartwheel and everything. And then he said he wants to be exclusive. They said, oh my gosh, yay! So that's happened. They be exclusive and whatnot. So Chris and Huda talk, and he talked to her about PDA again. She said she don't want to, but he said they can have sex in front of people. She's like, it's a private, it's a thing. I'm gonna come but it's outside. You understand? Like every time he tried to bring it up, she didn't want to hear it. She kept trying to overtalk him, trying to interject. I said, "Good, can you let him talk? Good, that's the problem." But I said she didn't want to hear it. So at this point, I understand like why I won't keep talking to you about this if you don't want to understand my side of things. At the end of the day. And then they kept talking. I think Hunter kept talking to Maya, get her advice. Chris was from Maya, and Maya said, "Girl, damn, why everybody coming to me? Everybody could on laundry. She was the villain. She was the villain of therapist. Why y'all going to her?" So Chris was to Maya about the situation. She validated his feelings. She also realized she's on defensive mode because she said she realized how she was on Jeremiah. She's trying to move different. So I guess she probably understood that a little bit. And she talked to her, and her kind of teared up a little bit. Nickelodeon talked and realized how they will work it out. Long distance, him in vet school. Who in vet school? Nick go to vet school? Oh, that was Taylor. Oh no, they were talking about I think Taylor, how working it out, how it will work for him to be a long distance and go to vet school, I think. So they had a text, they got a fire pit. America vote for the least favorite couple will be dumped immediately. Least favorite couple. I said, okay. In no particular order, these people are safe. Shelly and Ace, Amaya and Brian, Iris and Pepe, Huda and Chris, and the bottom two are Clark and Taylor, and Nick and Landria. And the couple who get eliminated is Clark and Taylor. So that means Ace and Nick was crying. You know, they felt her way because at this point, the Jeremiah gang up gang is going to get tripped away. Because they say, y'all effed it up for Jeremiah and even to Hannah, y'all ain't going to win this thing. Y'all not going to win this. They ain't going to win this. And you can start seeing when they started voting and eliminating people. I said, oh, child, America's not playing with these people. They are not playing. They going to get y'all one way or another. Ace, Nick, and Taylor thought they were going to make it all the way to the end. I said, y'all thought y'all could make it all the way to the end, but America was not having that. America said, nope, push, pause. America vote got to see who's in the finals. Who's going to be the final four couple. So Nick and Landria talk. She supports him and finding a connection, even if they didn't work out. Even if they didn't work out, she still supports and find a connection. Okay. So Ace and Shelly talk. He had the process of Taylor leaving because that was his road dog. So, but at some point, Ace and Shelly thought they was going to be the chopping block. That's the funny thing. They thought they was going to be the chopping block, but they wasn't. Because the way how America voted them, like least. So they thought it was like close to going home. But he said he still choose Shelly no matter what, and I don't care what nobody said, won't. All right. So Chris heard her talk about that convo. She said she's still moving slow, and he said he don't have any opinions. Because when she was talking, he said he don't have any opinions. I said, oh child, that's a Griffin. That's the thing coming out. You got nothing to talk. So he said, if you keep talking about the same thing over and over, you don't want to listen, so I don't have nothing to say. Well, I understand. If you not listen to me, one point I'm going to keep talking about it. But I said, no, I'm going to make my point close, too. Girl, you're going to listen to him one way or another. He said he low-key checked out. He definitely did say that. He low-key checked out. He said, oh, if you don't want to pursue me anywhere, it's okay. It's like he got frustrated. He said, that's why I say it. I said, well, you say you low-key checked out? So if he didn't want to pursue her, like I said, he didn't say he will not go pursue her. But if he say you low-key checked out, it made it seem like you low-key don't want to deal with this. But I think he low-key checked out on the conversation they was having because they kept talking in circles over and over. Not because he wanted to leave this kind of relationship. But to me, it seemed like it's brewing to that direction that he don't want to deal with her anymore. However, he should speak up and say that. But we're going to talk about that in a minute because he was getting my nerves too. Huda talked to Brian, say she moves slow. She said she learned from mistakes from past, might understand the Brian and everything. And so they're trying to get them together. Nick and Ace talk, and he said it was nice that he had cuddles with Alondra, because at one point they were just friends, but it's nice that they cuddled it now. And so realize how life outside the villa is, and Ace wants to be exclusive with Shelly. He gonna make Shelly his girlfriend. I said, I know that's right. Huda and Maya talk, and Huda said her love language is words of affirmation and acts of service. But they would say they don't know where it starts. So Chris and Brian talk, and he said, just work on the middle ground. Just keep talking to them, work it out, and work on the middle ground. So they got a text challenge and a couple challenge. So they got a slide down the pole. They got a barn and a sliding, a ball and sliding spinning ball. Try to dump freaking liquids in each other's buckets. That was crazy. They had this mix cocktails in a bucket. They had to slide into a pool of passion and kiss, just like normal. I didn't want to know for that. So Nick and Ace talk. Nick is curious to go further with Nick Laundry. Oh no, well, Laundry. He feel like a kid around her. Oh, how old are you? Okay. Because when Taylor said he feel like a kid, it'd be on Clark, right? You said, oh, how old are you? Oh, okay. Because I can't feel like a kid. She's like, oh, do you? But then Nick said he feel like a kid to be around Laundry. So you gonna say, oh, how old are you? Okay. Because I was like, I don't understand why she be on her set, because I don't know she was on feelings. But people usually say that when they feel something, they feel like a person and they feel buttery and butterflies in their stomach. It feels jittery. It feels all welcoming. It feels all love for the person they like. They do feel like they a kid. People say that. You feel like I'm a kid in this candy store because I got my match. I got someone who I love, who I want to be with, who make me feel happy. He make me feel wanted, make me feel like a little kid again. So for Nick saying that, I would have said, oh, it's not how old are you now? But I know she's saying that for the Alondra. She was talking to Ace. But I was making that note. I said, oh, okay. But Nick said it. So Chris and Huda talk. Amaya and Brian play a trick on them. They say they're gonna have to talk to the what's that area? That pool pond area, whatever it is. And they're gonna play them. And they're gonna have a conversation to talk. She said she understands it, she will accept it, but she said she want more affection, attention from him. And that's when she started losing me. So you understanding what was going on, but then you start saying, oh, if he would have showed me more attention, he would have touched me, he would do this, he would cuddle me and everything, it would have been better, and I would be open to do that. But that's physical touch, and that's stuff that you didn't want to do in the beginning. You didn't want to kiss him in public, but you want him to do all this affectionate stuff. He was willing to do the affectionate stuff, but you were shutting it down. So now you try and say you want the affectionate stuff? And how you gonna do it? Just private? Like you a side chick or something? Okay. Ace and Shelly talk. They get a text. Another couple go to Holloway. This time it's Shelly and Ace. I said, okay, cool. What they gonna do? So they're happy. She got change and everything. Ace wrote a heart in the sand and put A and C. And he wrote something for her. And he read it like a poem. And he asked her, he want to be exclusive with her. She agreed. I said, okay, 2 exclusive couples. Okay, cute. To be honest, y'all, when it gets kind of to the last little bit of episodes, I kind of was checked out. I wasn't really paying attention that much. So, normally a family day will be in a video screen. But this time they flew the family down to the villa to Fiji to meet with them personally one-on-one. So I said, oh, okay, that's a different thing. I mean, not touching, like everybody was touching, everybody was crying, it was the feelings, because they say, because at the end of the day, they'd experiment. They are isolated for people. They don't have no phone. They don't have no TV. They don't have no radio. They have no internet. They don't have nothing. They are isolated from the outside world. They got forced to interact with each other 24/7. Go to bed at a certain time. Wake up at a certain time. Eat this here and there. I know that they might eat in between and filming, but they don't interact with each other when they eat and do filming. Because one of the guys contesting the past Love Island episode said that we do get lunch. They do get lunch and dinner because we only see them eat breakfast on screen. However, they do eat lunch and dinner, but they don't film that, and they don't have a conversation while they eating when they lunch and dinner. I said, "Oh, child, damn!" So the only time they really interact when they filming, so you can tell they're really isolated and everything. So I was like, yep. So the family video, I understand they feel excited for their family coming through. Pepper Iris is fucking again. Oh God. Family day. Niggas crying because he said he misses people. The guys talk about the hideaway. Ace said he did not fold. Girls talk. Shelly said they announced the exclusivity. They closed. They exclusive now. So Maya and Brian. Maya cried. Maya mom and stepdad came. Brian dad and best friend came. They like to have Brian still in front of Maya. Brian mom made a video. Got him choked up. He's crying. And a couple, they said the best part was they couple in the hideaway, and they said they're compatible. They like her personality and whatnot. They proud that he stood up for herself, whatnot. Pepper and Iris came. Pepper mom and daddy came. Iris mom and sister came. They said they make a good couple. They just met together. I don't know how they make a good couple, but okay, whatever. Want her to feel love and value. They want to get to know her outside of it. You know, it's funny because they are videos circulated that Iris and TJ or hooking up or clicking out outside of Villa. So I said, "Oh, what happened to Pepe?" I know that's the book. I know that thing was whack. I know she was trying to go back to TJ as fast as she can, but I guess that happened. But hey, all this talk in this family Villa said, "Oh, we like it for each other." Nobody want to give the real, especially with the hood of Chris. I said, "Y'all watching, y'all will see what's happening before y'all can Fiji." But y'all just say all this like, "Oh, y'all good for each other." Okay, bro. Chris, at this point, he's in his head meeting the family because he want to know how their family goes, perceive her, and how he want the validation that he should leave or go because he basically wanted his family to tell him that you can let this go. In my mind, he wanted his family to tell him that, but we also want to see if they really support him and the Hood together being together. So Ace sister and brother came. And everybody was talking about Ace's brother having a shirt off, and they want him to figure OG next season. I said, why? Because he had a shirt open? That's all y'all cared about because he had a shirt open, so he should be an OG next season? I said, boy, we don't need another Ace around here. Shelly dad and mom came. Shelly got a sister for letter for her sisters. Ace mom wrote a voice note. They liked it together. They like that he being real for himself. And they do match each other fly. I said, good. Huda Chris talk. Huda got a video for her daughter. Huda's sister came. Chris' mom and sister came. He said he liked that he doing what he's supposed to do. He needs someone want to ground her. And she needs someone to ground her. And they say they see the growth of her from the past until now. So whatever. And they also like the mommy mamacita thing. I said cute because that's very big on TikTok and or Instagram, like mommy mamacita. So Nick and Alondria came and families everything. Nick mom and sister came and Alondria mom came. She said Alondria mom said that her dad would be proud of her. Nick dad. Nick dad said he likes Ace and everything. They could see it with Alondria. They could see each other together. Nick mom would say, "Oh, happy to see you, so beautifully gorgeous. You could come down and everything." And I'm just like, "Oh my gosh!" And they could say they're happy with Nick, so they could like a big whole family going on. I think outside they say that Nick's and Alondria moms talk to each other on the phone. And I said, "Okay, that's cute." And they're trying to make it work. I said, "That's nice." So they texted cooking like the family, and that's that. So they'll cook and eat as a family. So they'll cook and everything. I think Chris like burned his little he burned his little garlic bread a little bit. Yeah, I guess he'll make another one. And that's so they all cooked. They all sat down. They would eat. They gave a little speech. Brian said his peak is a meeting of Maya. And Maya said how Pika's bonded with the girls. She said how Pitt spoke to Ace and miscommunication. She said she apologized and everything, how she talked to him. I said, yeah, I understand. And I'm glad she said growth. She apologized. But at the same time, he should apologize too because he was not innocent in all that whole situation with Maya. The fact that he picked that and just switched on her so quickly, that was crazy. So it was justified. I understand her justification about how she crashed out. But whatever, she apologized. So she big a big person and said she miscommunication and she spoke how she spoke to her. Hunter said her pick was crashing out. Her peak was recovering with Chris. Chris said he liked to see his family and the basketball with the guys. All right, hold on. Alondra said her mom was reassuring her about her thing going on with Nick, everything. So text. America voted, and least favorite couple would get dumped. I said, oh, Chad, let's see. And the final 4 couples will make it to the finale. So the safe couples was Amaya and Brian. That was no brainer. Huda and Chris. I said, oh, Chad. Nick and Alondria. And then Pepe and Iris. I said, what? Now, I was like, because I made my prediction before, and I said the 4 final couple will be Maya, Brian, Huda, Chris, Nick, Alondria, and Ace and Shelly. Because I said Pepe and Ivy just made a couple, and they will not make it. However, America, they like Ace and Shelly like that, and they wanted to get them going. Is they got rid of Taylor Clark. They said they're going to break up. They're going to send home Ace and Shelly next. And that's what they did. America said, oh, y'all ain't wasting our money. They were not touching that money. The Ace and Shelly, they was like, Pepe, I was shocked. Because I was shocked too. I said, wow, America ain't playing with y'all. I was shocked. I ain't gonna hold y'all to it. I was shocked. Because I was saying Ellie, Chase and I'm saying the names on. What the hell? I'm not even drinking, y'all. Shelly and Ace had a short connection for a while. And it's that, yes, they recently made exclusive, but they had a strong connection. So the fact that America said, nope, we don't like your behind, you going home, they didn't care about no connection. They said they don't like you. Go home. And Pepe Iris made it to the final. And I wanted to say, I wanted to Huda and crash out of that, like she did Laundry, but she didn't get that. As you know, Major crying out for Shelly. I mean, Laundry did teared up. Because that was a girl. But there was no crash out crying for Shelly leaving. Because I said Shelly was the OG. So I was like, and Ace was OG too. So, it was big. They got to get eliminated. I didn't see the interview. And I barely want to see anybody interviews anymore anyway. So I did this season was like Joe draining. I didn't care about anybody interviews. Are you sure? I was shocked. Yeah, I definitely was shocked. Because I was like, how did they get over Pepe Iris? But then again, based on the voting, on the American vote last time, Shelly Ace was voted last, so at least Jim and everything. So I was like, I was shocked because I thought they would at least make it to the finale, but not win the 100K. However, I understand that America was not rocking with them. So they had to send them down. But I said, oh, Pepe Iris don't know? Really? But they did vote Pepe close in the beginning, genuine and stuff like that. So I understand, I guess. All right. So the text, the finale, the America will vote for the winners. And everything. So final finale episode. And then we can get out on the big end it here. All right. So Nick and Audrey, they kiss. Oh, Nickelandria. He said he kissed, and he told her he kissed her in a blindfold. He said he was always interested in Landria, but why it never happened. I said I don't know why y'all never happened. Why y'all never happened? Y'all can tell us why it never happened. If you was interested in why it never happened, can you explain it? Like I said, I know the interview. I explained it earlier in my review. What they said in the interview, how he was interested in Landria, but he didn't do so because of Taylor. I would say F Taylor. That's what y'all was not doing this experiment right, because y'all could have explored and got it, and we would have seen this in the beginning. But whatever. Huda and Chris talk. She tried to cuddle because I got this point. I they had a pillow fight and he hit her on the pillow so hard and everything. She was being dramatic with the nose brace and everything. Whatever. I guess that's happened because I was, like I said, I was paying attention most of the time. So she was upset. She wanted to cuddle. And he didn't want to do so. Because I think he was fake sleeping or whatever. He was fake sleeping or not. But he said, no, I'm going to go to sleep. He said, oh, you got 3, 2, 1. I said, and what you counting for? Oh, you going to count down for me to cuddle you like I'm a child? I said, girl, you going to keep counting because I'm going to sleep. Don't be doing that. Don't do that. Now, granted, I like to cuddle. Well, I'm upset with you. I can't do with you. You ain't gonna be counting down to me, trying to force me to cuddle. Girl, bye. You might get cuddled and fall off the bed. So she going around. So each couple going on a date. Nickelandria. And I say they ain't doing this much for the other couples. And Nickelandria, they were trying to make sure they hand in hand and nail down this connection that's real. I said, I don't know. It could be only be real if you want to. It could be or cannot be. But I said, we will see how that is once they come back in the reunion and tell us how their relationship is. Because basically, they're working out so far, but we will know. But I'm going to let you know now, they would do a lot. Because they had the beach island, whatever setup they was going to, and they was reading letters in the beach, going down to different stations and saying how the people feel about the relationship and how they feel for that and everything. And she wanted that reassurance because she didn't realize that people was rooting for her, being with her Nick and all that. Then she started crying and whatnot. And they can see how the relationship is outside the villa. And I said they would do a lot because I said they ain't had no letters for every other couple. Everybody else had a little date, but they had a lot of things for Nick and Landria. So the production really trying to make us be sold in this relationship. And I said, okay. It is what it is. Chris and Brian talk about Huda being annoying. Brian tried to keep telling Chris to make it work. I said, stop it. Can we stop making it work? Just listen, be honest with the girl. Hey, if you want to end it, just end it. Period. Because I'm tired y'all trying to talk about him, trying to work things out and everything. It's not working. Y'all going around in circles. They're not fitting it. He's starting to become passive aggressive. She's not listening, understanding. So y'all not going anywhere. So it seems like this relationship is done and be over with. Be somebody end this relationship. All right? So Huda and Maya start talking. And she said she like affection. So you like affection, but you didn't want to kiss him in public. That don't make sense. That didn't make sense. Affection means you could be public PDA. Public display of affection. So if you want affection, you want to be affection only in private? Because if you want to try to do so, you didn't want to do it. But now you're saying you want that. Girl, you didn't make any sense. You was contradicting yourself. She said, where's the physicality? I said, oh, he was trying to do the physical with you. But no, you want to do physical in the bedroom. You try to do physical in the bedroom, huh? That's why. Brian said, listen, if he was tired, he would be tired of the same thing. He would have crashed out. He said, do it one last time. One last time to make it work. So Pepper and Ivy's final date, it was a boat ride. Excited to see each other outside the villa. I said, I know how excited you was to because girl, it seemed like you jumped on ship and went to TJ right quick. You got on that plane, land down. I said, oh, TJ. You, I said, what about that? Girl, you was wasting no time going back to TJ. Hold on, Chris. This is another, like I said, this is another thing. They both got me aggravated. So they had a dinner date on top of the water. I said that's romantical. I like that. That's romantical, y'all. That was so cute and romantic. I like stuff like that. Be nice, romantic, like stuff, cute enough. So they had like it was water and rocks. She had her heels on. So he did a romantic gesture about carry her across the water to the standing on thing, the island, whatever they were standing on, sitting on. So that's sad. They had a little thing. So they were talking. They talking. They said, "Tell her straight. The body language is different. It was off. The reaction is different. It's how outside world will be. The physical aspects be long distance." He said, "Where her head at?" He said he didn't know the answer, but he wanted to say it. I said, "Nah, see, this was aggravating. Because if you want to end it and you really want done with this relationship, why are you waiting for her to say it for you to really know the answer? Just say, listen, I know we tried to make it work, but I think we're not listening to each other. We're not hearing each other. So I think it's best for us to be friends." But he waited, sitting there, drinking his drink. Because I don't already know the answer. I just wait for you to say, just tell me what it is. Just tell me what it is. I already know you're going to just tell me what it is. Huh? Just tell me. I know you waiting. Just tell me. Just tell me. Just tell me what it is. I know what your answer is. Just tell me what it is. I mean, you're just stupid. So he just sitting there. And she was like, I just think. I said, can y'all freaking get on with this scene? Can y'all end this? Because y'all was dragging it. It was dragged out for a long time. She finally said, it's a first time. I said, I knew what it I knew what I knew what it was. I was waiting for you to say it. I knew it was. I said, why you gotta wait for her to say it? You could have said it. He said, can we be friends? Not out of the villa. When we go in the villa, everything, can we be friends? He said, well, he could be, but he needs to not like it, like her, for it to happen. So it's gonna take a while for him to even try to get to that point to just be friends. So he had to be distant himself. So he got have his feelings away from not like her, so he could be able to be around her with other people. I said, okay. So when it comes to going back, right? He came back. She said, why are you crying? What are you crying for? What are you crying? You know why she crying? You just saw her crying, tearing up like that. She was feeling something away. So you say, why are you crying for? Or something like that. He said, walking back. Here, he held up his hand, right? He said, walk. He said, are you going to carry me? I can help walk across. He said, no, can you carry me? He said, I'm not going to carry you. He said, oh, okay. Then he got up and walked away and just left her there. So she had to take off her shoes and walk across the water in her heels. Yeah, he didn't want to look like the big guy because I think he was aware of the optics. But at the same time, I feel like, boy, if you would end it, just end it. Because we all see this already happening. However, to me, now granted, how y'all feel? Because me, I'm still a gentleman. And I feel like I'm not the type of person who will leave someone hanging, especially if I came with them, if I might be upset with them, to leave them isolated and unsafe. So if me and my friend have a whatnot as a female, I would still make sure she get back home. Or whatnot. I just not leave her stranded. So I feel like he could at least carry her back with her hair's on. Even if they had a falling out, they broke up. He could at least carry her back. And then after she land on her feet, then she could walk on her own from that. Or if she want to take off her shoes, then he just walked with her. But he just left her. So I was like, that's why I said he was annoying me too. Because I said, boy, bye. You could at least walk. You could at least carry her back, or at least let her take off her shoes and walk her back. You just gone from her. So I feel like technically sometimes plays a role because even if you know, like when Ace was upset with Shelly, he still make her breakfast. Now, granted, I'm not saying you have a choice. Everybody has a choice. So he had to do what he didn't have to do. He didn't want to do it. He had to do it. But as your character, sometimes, so listen. Yes, I carry you, of course. I can carry you back over here, even though despite how I feel. I make sure you get back home, and that's it. We don't have to talk to each other anymore. I just okay. It is what it is. No hard feelings. Y'all let me know. Y'all think Ace or y'all think Shelly was on Chase? Not, y'all think Chris was wrong for not carrying her back? Or he was like, listen, we broke up. I ain't gonna do nothing for you. Take that scenario out the way. Let's say it was a club, and a guy took you over at the date in the club or whatever, or a restaurant, and you had an argument, and then he just up and leave you there by yourself. Will you feel that type of way? Or because you will understand him leaving because you had an argument? Or y'all just broke up, whatever. We'll see. But I just feel like he should at least carry her back. But that's why I say it annoyed me because I was like, listen, why are you crying? Like, so stone cold, why are you crying? This is what, I'm not going to carry you. And walked away. And I said, oh, shit. And then she was so adamant, no, you can carry me back and everything. I said, listen, I don't know what y'all do. Y'all need to get it together. Get it together, y'all. Get it together. Yeah, he could have, but he never liked her for real. And he let it show. Exactly. And it's crazy because he seen how Huda was before he even trying to get with her. Everybody, all the bombshells watched the show before they even get here. So the fact that he wanted to try with her, even though you know how she is just changed overnight. So it was crazy. So Brian and Maya they had like a private living room area scenario type setting. They had a book of baby pictures and growing up from baby to childhood to adulthood. Goodbye. I wouldn't be mad, but I'd be done with him. Exactly. Like but I also understand like sometimes chivalry and patriarchy, this is a patriarchal word, chivalry. So it's like your character speak for yourself. Even if you don't work out with a female, sometimes people want to understand at least you still like to be a gentleman, even if it's good and hard time. So it's like leave me stranded alone. But some people say, listen, bye. I don't want to deal with you anyway. Don't have to worry about me. That's your sister, and you say, no, boy, bye. Boy, bye. I don't want you to help me. I'm good by myself. So happy tears, and it wants to be exclusive. He wants to be exclusive with Amaya. I said, oh, okay. You want to be a girlfriend and boyfriend. Cute. Her announced to the people they're gonna be friends. Ola wish she did Ola wish that she didn't cut the relationship off with Chris. I said, ooh. Hey, Kohimi O'Neal, how you doing? Welcome to Mizzle'S family. Welcome to my live. And she wished that she didn't cut the relationship. I said, I don't know. Maybe she should cut it off that in the finale. But I guess if it was time, it's time. So Chris slept with soul ties. I said, well, you had to sleep on soul ties. But I guess he didn't want to be around her. So he was dramatic and slept with soul ties. I said, I know that's right. If you don't want to be around someone, you'll be around someone. So we had speeches. Speeches before we find out who won. Who wins the season 7 of Love Island. So 4th place, we had speeches. As to be honest, y'all, I would barely pay attention to the speeches. I said, oh, child. I was up here cleaning my room. I was vacuuming. I was like, child, I don't got time for y'all speeches. So they had speeches. And then I'll definitely skip forward or skip Huda and Chris. People who are watching along with me know I definitely skipped their speeches. Because I said, what the hell we giving y'all speeches for when y'all broke up? We don't need to have that. I don't care about none of that. So Iris and Pepe talk. No, Iris and Pepe was fourth place. I said, good riddance. Bye. And Huda and Chris were third place. I said, now granted, they did voted before the finale happens. But dag. But y'all saw the relationship how it was. So how the hell you still put them in third place? Well, whatever. Nicolandria was the runner-ups, and Brian and Amaya won the season. So at this point, one of them going to do 100K, and they got to decide whether they keep the 100K together all along. Yeah, they could have cut the speeches because that was stupid. That was like 20 minutes that we didn't have to need it. So long for no apparent reason. A lot of them never will be together anymore. Like Iris went to TJ right after they landed in their country. So I said, girl, bye. Brian got the 100K, and he decided to split it with Amaya. I said, oh, that's cute. I was like, I said, nobody ever kept the money. I think they all split the money. I said, I want to see for my season to choose the money. I want to see how that goes, how that work out. And you know, I don't know. That was long as hell, too. And then Maya another thing that annoyed me too. And even though I said it was innocent, but Maya walking around. I said, "Oh, child, screeching! I can't. I was at this point. I was so done with the reunion. I was so done. Everything was annoying me that episode. I was like, chill. I said, "Maya, calm down. Shoot, get the 100K. That's who got the money now." So Brian got the 100K and he split it with Amaya. So that's cute. And the reunion will be August 25th. And Ariana Maddox and Andy Cohen will be co-hosting the reunion. I said, Andy, okay, you better make your coins. But listen, the reunion last season was horrible. So I hope they do better this time. Now I know Nick said he wanted to come to the reunion because there's gonna be the clarity about the Jeremiah elimination. I said I don't know what kind of clarity or what thing y'all want to try to talk about because it doesn't make no sense. It still doesn't make any sense. I don't know how many times y'all go do interviews. All y'all do interviews. Y'all all don't still make any sense about Jeremiah getting eliminated. So I don't care about none of that. And don't show us no figure. 30 minutes of no conversation about eliminating Jeremiah or what up now. Come on to see that. Just like I did last season, you had to have a sit down the whole 30 minutes something watching the girls picking Andre to go send home and how long they had a conversation before they get home, sent home, because it was so controversial about who let Andre to go home and everything and whatnot. I said, do we need to care? She got home, sent home. He didn't leave the girl, so why do we care? He didn't leave with her. They phone her, then text her, then check up on her, then nothing. She was done. So all that promises, all that crying, you about to say it too home. All that, and they do nothing after she left. Even she said it herself, he didn't reach out. So what we do all that antics for? And why we need to sit down and find out why she got whoever said to get her eliminated, she got eliminated. The stuff that we want to know, Ariana Maddox was asking the question. So I said, child, I don't know. But the reunion is August 25th. Everybody do interviews. Maybe I should watch the interviews and see what people got to say and get a little recap. But I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. We'll see. If not. Because we got to watch Beyond the Villa, season 6. The first episode happened this past Sunday, and I didn't watch it yet. So we'll watch it soon. And I'll announce it in the Discord. Watch along. And we watch it, and we're going to talk about it. All right. Any last little thoughts about this? Like I said, overall this season, I wish if next season comes, y'all need to go back to where it was. We don't need no more influencers. Anybody trying to lick the game and try to change up how this thing going, trying to eliminate and try to make their own rules. No, we don't need production trying to change things on a whim and cater to the audience or whatever it is like that. No, we need real people. Don't do better background checks. Make sure you're getting people who doesn't have any crazy thing. Also, at the same time, it's a mix of things. Production doing the most. The cast casted was not there for love. It was mostly for friendship and trying to make the game and trying to make it to the end. New eyes on the show who don't realize the concept of Love Island. They voting for both based on popularity than connections. It was a whole show throughout this whole season. Islands barely make any connections to Casa. Casa was lame. We had no movie night. We had no Twitter challenge. We had none of that. And movie night is one of the none anticipated things besides Casa that we wanted to watch. And Casa was boring, and we had no movie night. So it was like, next season you got to do better. And I granted that season 6 was a great season that brought more eyes to the show. But with that more eyes to the show, it made it unbearable for the season. Because people were too woke conscious. People were too this, too that. It's like, no happening, no relationship. It was too much. And the cast was not doing the right thing with the love. They were mostly friendship than love. They was just trying to step on each other's toes. They was trying to make no connections. Then you're going to tell us after the world what you was really feeling and you didn't go pursue it because of somebody else. I said, boy, bye. Hope next season we have people who could support each other. The reason why season 6 was so good, because it was genuine. People was making connection. People make connection. They were genuine. They did not stop each other from talking to other people, couples. They would still be respectful to one another, but they wasn't stopping each other from making connections with someone they was talking to. Until they find a connection, and then the people started realizing, and they all supported each other. Nobody was eliminating people because they had strong connections. Now, it was only one time I remember last season they eliminated. That was the Andrea season. That was the Andrea choice. Whether Rob and Andrea had a good connection and eliminated Andrea, which they could have had eliminated Nicole or Janae for the point, but they wouldn't give Janae a chance. So maybe Nicole should have had one home. Even Nicole was shocked because she said she thought it would be her. But they eliminate Andrea. Other than that, they usually been fair with the eliminations. Yeah, Jeremiah Love, it changed everything. Everything switched up. And then the hand of God too. So I feel like a lot of things shifted this season. And it was so squibbling. And then eliminate everybody coming back for Casa and Villa. It made everybody coming back. It was too much people. It was a lot happening. A lot of people were making connections. That's when they had to change up Casa. It was stupid. Because the freaking cast was basically making this show look like a Big Brother or Survivor instead of Love Island. I said, if I were production next season, I said, no, we're not doing this. Y'all want to talk to each other, make connections, everything. We're not having this. And then the freaking Islanders voting stupidly throughout the season. I said, it was a lot of things happening that made this season a flop. It was entertaining, but it wasn't all that. So season 6 is still better for me. If y'all want to know my answer, season 6 was still better. That was my first season. Now, I do want to watch previous season before season 6, but I had to get some time to watch that because, other shows coming out and things like that. I got to catch them up Beyond the Gates. I got other shows might coming out. So we'll get to that. But other than that, that's it, y'all, right? Anything last thoughts about the season? If not, then I'll talk to y'all soon. Wait for the reunion, and we will talk about the reunion when it comes out, and we will start talking about Beyond the Villa season 6 season. All right. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe to my channel if you're new, so we get the count up there. And I'll see y'all soon. All right. And let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If anything I missed, anything you want to discuss, anything you disagree with me on, it's fine. Just be respectful. All right. Talk to you later. Peace out. All right, y'all. Have a good one. Good night. Good night, Quesoria. Good night, Boo, for keeping me company. Everybody else who's watching me in the bushes. I appreciate y'all. Peace out.